Anyways, let's get into the Maw, which I think most of us are most excited for. Many afterlives dedicated to the temporary punishment of souls exist, not just Revendreth.
So why do we only see Revendreth? Like, again, this is going back to that point of there are many afterlives. Why do we only see the 4? Why are none of the others mentioned?
See, but now what interests me about this is that changes the entire purpose of Revendreth. Because that might mean that Revendreth... Because, okay, so I'll say this. How many of you have played through the story of Revendreth? I'm assuming everyone, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's true that Revendreth fucks up souls for their wrongdoings, but they actually do it through siphoning anima and storing it. Right? That's how they punish you. They siphon your anima. And then they design all these weird little things like the hunt, for example, which actually increases your anima because you're being hunted, only to then siphon it off again. So I would actually argue that Revendreth is not a realm for temporary punishment of those souls that doesn't deserve to go anywhere else. I would argue that Revendreth, and the reason we only see Revendreth, is its primary function is to basically supply the rest of the Shadowlands with abundance of anima.
Yeah.
So it is effectively where the batteries get drained. Before the Arbiter was broken, very few souls were ever sent directly to the Maw. If they indicated that they had even the slightest chance of atoning for their sins, they were sent to Revendreth. Boy, was she wrong about Garrosh.
I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again.
Yeah, I mean, not to sort of shoot a hole in their theory here, but Garrosh was never going to apologize for anything that he had done. It's very clear. Even being tortured wasn't enough to make him apologize. I don't know. There's still something that bugs me about this entire thing. Kartal Tar's archives contain no account of the jailer's appearance or his purpose beyond overseeing the souls in the Maw, which we know for a fact isn't true. Right? We know that that's not what his job was. It is pointed out how odd it is that a waystone, a form of translocation, was placed in a realm explicitly meant to be inescapable. The brokers consider 2 theories. The first asserts that the waystone was intended as a failsafe in case any souls should arrive in the Maw that were not meant to be there. The second, on the other hand, claims the first ones foresaw the coming of the Maw walkers and placed the waystone there for their inevitable arrival. Now, I would say that this actually, the second theory aligns with the, what the fuck is it called again? In Korthia, we learn about this, the premonition, but not premonition.
Prophecy?
The prophecy. Fuck me. The prophecy.
You had me fucked up then, because you were, it can't have been just such a fucking obvious word, because he's struggling to get it, and this is an Inglando thing.
Bro,
no, your brain just shit the fucking bed. There.
Yeah. After 4 hours of streaming, you know this happens. My brain stops working. But yeah, so we're told that the prophecy, like there's a prophecy that foretold that there would be a being that could leave the Maw at will, right? That's the prophecy that they have. So their second sort of theory would align with that 100%. The first makes no sense, because if a soul could leave via it, then so could Zovaal. There is a third theory that they don't seem to keep in mind at all, and that would be the one that the Maw was not originally a place where souls could not escape from.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not part of their perspective, right? That's not part of their point of view. They don't have that idea, so they're not going to come up with it, which is stupid that they don't have the idea. Like, if something's that fucking old, you'd be like, well, this was here before we got here.
Yeah. I mean, I am of the opinion that the Maw is the only natural zone in the Shadowlands. Like, it was not built by anyone. It was there before the Eternal Ones started, before the first ones even started. The Maw was, it is the only natural place there. Zeratul, what's your point? But can we leave due to the Waystone in the first place? Yes, of course, but we now also learn the Mawsworn doesn't seem to have much of a problem leaving the Maw. As it turns out, Anduin can leave the Maw at will, Sylvanas can leave the Maw at will. Beings can fucking come and go as they please, actually. It seems like the only beings that can't, of course, Blizzard could just have forgotten the fact that the Maw was supposed to be an inescapable place. but it doesn't seem as inescapable to me as Blizzard wants to pretend it is. Despite the numerous deaths he endured, Kel'Thuzad was never actually judged by the Arbiter until his final death during the war against the Lich King. I'm slightly triggered.
Slightly, especially more so with the very next point.
Let me not even look at the next point. So we know that we killed Kel'Thuzad, but as we have asked countless times, when did we destroy his phylactery? That's how you kill a lich, by the way. You cannot kill them without killing their phylactery first. We never destroyed Kel'Thuzad's phylactery. So how in the fuck did he die during the war with the Lich King?
Yep.
Maybe we should have seen at least an in-game cinematic in the shit. Like, while I suggest, whilst they were busy, right, making all of those fucking cinematics for World of Warcraft Warcraft 3 Refunded, right? They should have shoehorned a horrible cinematic in there showing how we destroy his phylactery before, you know, he dies to Arthas or during the fight with Arthas. So it's just, this is sort of very weird to me, the fact that that's even in there. One broker believes the Arbiter's judgment of Kel'Thuzad may have been manipulated to ensure he ended up in Maldraxxus, where he could further the jailer's schemes.
So we can manipulate the judge.
Yeah.
But we're not going to let you go before the judge anyway, just in case. Okay.
I would argue the Arbiter seems like a glorified fucking, whoa, holy shit. Ali H, did you just give me $274 US? Holy fuck. Ali H, thank you so much for the $274, dude.
Dick.
And the $6. Really appreciate that, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some love in chat for Ali H? That is a crazy, crazy donation. So can we get some absolute love in chat? Ali H, love you, bro. Thank you so much for that. That actually makes me feel better about this. Suddenly, this is a great book.
Yeah, I love the book now.
Yeah, the book's amazing. Thank you, Ali. So if you're going to read this book, get someone to give you $200 while you're doing it. Turns the book into a fucking crazy cool book. Really appreciate that, Ali H. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That's going to go towards the move to Cape Town. Bro, thank you so much for the 50. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of that money goes straight to the move to Cape Town so we can get away from the fucking power outages and the bullshit. And also, this is sort of my plan at the moment. If I can make this work, I want to start doing some lore videos on the rocks. Just imagine the fucking ocean crashing in the background and talking about WoW lore. That'd be fucking cool. That'd be cool. All right, so I don't see the problem with Kel'Thuzad's judgment, right? I would not see that as an issue because this is talking about his final judgment. But I do see your other issue. They could manipulate it, so why didn't they keep manipulating him?
Yeah, like, okay, so one broker believes the Arbiter's judgment of Kel'Thuzad may have been manipulated. So why would they then not assume that liches do in fact go before the Arbiter, but something manipulates them that they're then drawn back to their phylactery instead of onto where they need to go? Like, surely that is the logical interpretation of this, but no, we're just going to give you two conflicting accounts, but we're just going to say the other one is by one broker, so who knows, he might be wrong.
I mean, it's very weird to me. There's a lot of things with Kel'Thuzad that doesn't make sense to this day. But okay, so, as the troll death deity, actually we should quickly just talk about the manipulation of Kel'Thuzad. So let's imagine that this is real. Kel'Thuzad may have been manipulated to ensure he ends up in Maldraxxus. Who has that level of power and that level of influence?
Well, okay, arguably, shouldn't there just be a connection between Zovaal and his fucking anima anyway? Even if it's removed from him, it's still in the same realm. Shouldn't he just be able to be like, nah, you don't want to send him to the Maw? Or actually, you do want to send him to the Maw? Send him to me? Like, that's fine?
It's possible, but he doesn't do it with... He could do it with all souls then, right? Which could help him escape.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a whole lot of fucking holes in a whole lot of these theories. You know, so we can talk about Vol'jin as well here. Who saved Vol'jin and how were they able to save him? Kel'Thuzad's manipulation and how exactly that functioned. But I don't know. It could be the Fate Scribe. It could be that the Fate Scribes interfered and they needed him in Maldraxxus for whatever purpose, because he didn't really get much done. He failed most of it. Right. Which is always the best thing for me about these fucking stories in World of Warcraft. Why do the bad guys always fail? I would love an expansion where the bad guys actually win, right? And not playing some kind of 1000D chess. Just straight up winning, because guess what? They're gods and we are not.
So, okay. This is where
Wait. My stream died.
Stream dead? The fuck?
It went to 0. Okay, it's reconnected now. It is reconnected. Let's just see. And people hit reload.
Are we all back?
Is everyone back? Okay, I do apologize. I don't know what happened there. The stream just went fucking dead, but it seems to be reconnected now.
We nailed the story, and Zovaal was just like, fuck it, cut the internet.
Yeah, Zovaal just interfered with our ability to tell the fucking story. All right, you were saying, Apocalypse?
Yeah, big brain Blizzard conspiracy is that when people have asked for something, Blizzard will give it to you, but in the shittest way possible, so that you regret asking them for anything. This has happened quite a few times. For example, we won Ashbringer. Mm-hmm. We finally get Ashbringer, and rep Hallies are shit for an entire expansion. Same with Doomhammer. Yeah. We don't want RNG, so they give us Torghast. And that is just nothing but RNG. So with people saying that we want the bad guys to win, in their mind, that is what they are giving us right now. Zovaal has won. He's got the sigils. He's fucked off. He's won. Yeah. And yet this is the lowest played expansion ever. So we're proving their point that we don't know what we want.
I mean, to be fair, I know exactly what I want. The problem is that whenever I tell Blizzard what I want, they give me exactly what I didn't want. But then they tell me that this is what I want. And then I go, but this is really not what I want. And they go, no, it really is what you want. And I go, no, I promise you it isn't. And then they go, we don't get why people are so upset. We gave you what you wanted. And everyone else is going, no, you didn't.
Yeah, but the worst thing about it is I genuinely think they believe they are giving us what we've asked for. We want player housing, have some garrisons. Garrisons are shit. See, you don't want player housing. We're just not going to listen to you anymore.
Almost had a fucking aneurysm when you said garrisons there.
But I genuinely think Blizzard believed that was their version of player housing, and we shit on it because it was trash. It's not what we asked for. But they believe that is them giving us what we asked for.
The fucking fact that Blizzard could think, I genuinely fucking hope that that's not true. I really hope that there isn't a developer sitting at Blizzard Entertainment going, we gave them player housing and it failed. Like, I genuinely fucking hope that there isn't such a developer there. Because at that point, we're fucked. That is literally the equivalent of saying we're going to give you deep and meaningful player experiences and then giving you Tetris. I mean, nothing wrong with Tetris, but it's not deep and meaningful fucking player experiences, right? So yeah, let's get off the garrison discussion. As the troll death deity, Muazala once demanded his followers perform brutal displays of worship. His needs were so extreme that he continued to thrive upon their fear and despair after they died, preventing them from passing on to the rest of the Shadowlands. I still want to fucking know who created Muazala.
Yeah, that's never going to get explained.
Because we know who created Bwansamdi, right? That was Muazala. And Bwansamdi was created by Muazala because the followers of Muazala refused to follow him, basically because he was a bit fucking nuts, right? And so they decided, no, we need someone else. Muazala realized that they were no longer praying to him, and so he made Bwansamdi with the hope that Bwansamdi would follow him and would not ask questions. Then, of course, Bwansamdi started asking questions, and now Muazala is basically fucked. Because no one's worshipping him, and he's also not getting to siphon off any of the power. Like I said, I still don't quite know where Muazala comes from, though. Because if you get a being this evil, who created this being? And can it be that it is Zovaal?
I think it was Many as One, actually, on the Discord, who pointed out something rather fucking interesting when it comes to Muazala himself. In the Grimoire, the artwork that goes along with it is Torghast, not the other side. Nothing to do with trolls. It's Torghast.
So you think Muazala was crafted inside Torghast?
I don't personally know. But it does seem a little bit strange. Mozal apart, we're talking about the other side, have a picture of Torghast. Speaking of the character, he has a rather interesting list of abilities. Also, while looking at the Oribus armor, aka Eternal Travelers, remember that you can find an item that could be related to them in the other side. It's antique mask that's similar to the Eternal Traveler one. Why would that be in the other side, and why is the other side connected to Torghast?
Yeah. There's also another thing that needs to be pointed out here, and that is the last part of this, preventing them from passing on to the rest of the Shadowlands. In other words, he was actively working against the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
So he was clearly not... This is another place where Ardenweald doesn't make much sense. Ardenweald is reluctantly where Loa are reborn. The Winter Queen wants nothing to fucking do with the Loa, by the way. She doesn't want anything to do with them. She sort of allows them to be reborn in Ardenweald, but she wants them to stay the fuck away from them, from her, and she doesn't want anything to do with their problems. We know that Vol'jin is becoming a Loa, and we know that Bwonsamdi was once a priest of Muazala. So we know that some Loa were once living beings.
Yeah.
Bwonsamdi, however, claims that he was never a troll. He claims that he saw the trolls being born, but he himself was never a troll, right? That's at least according to Bwonsamdi. Muazala, what was he?
Yeah, like if you come before what comes before the trolls, then what the fuck are you, since the trolls are the earliest form of life that we know to be on Azeroth, other than old gods.
Of course, it is possible that Bwonsamdi wasn't from Azeroth. He was sent to Azeroth. So it is possible that Bwonsamdi was sent to Azeroth when Azeroth was still very young. Maybe to cultivate a new form of worship. So it is possible. However, troll civilization eventually outgrew Muazala's interest in cruelty and death. Determined not to fade into obscurity, the Loa of Death extended an offer to one of his priests, a troll named Bwonsamdi. In exchange for becoming Muazala's successor, Bwonsamdi was to deliver a regular tribute to the Loa, thereby ensuring Muazala would always have the worship he craved. So here they're basically shitting on the established lore, or what we thought was established lore of Muazala.
Yeah.
Because according to this, the troll civilization eventually outgrew Muazala's cruelty, and Bwonsamdi was chosen as one of the priests. Bwonsamdi, of course, now just to be clear, this was, I can't remember which book this was in, but it was in one of the earliest books where the Loa was sort of touched on, where Bwonsamdi, I think it was actually the Traveler, may have been the Traveler, but Bwonsamdi basically claims that he isn't a troll. He saw the troll being born, but he himself wasn't a troll. That's basically been shut on now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. When the Arbiter broke, Bwonsamdi tethered the souls of dead trolls to his necropolis to prevent them from passing on to the Maw and empowering the Jailer. Muazala, who had been in league with the Jailer for some time, was enraged at this and attacked Bwonsamdi in the other side.
So the question I have here is that we know for a fact that Bwonsamdi is not stuck to trolls. He has dominion over at least humans in one of the Vol'jin stories. So why just trolls? If he's really against the Jailer and everything that he stands and stops souls going into the Maw, why would he not grab them all?
It is also possible, just to point out, we've been wondering where Nathanos is. It is possible that Bwonsamdi nabbed him and is basically torturing him for what he did to Bwonsamdi, or tried to do to Bwonsamdi in Shadows Rising.
Maybe.
It is possible, right? Muazala brokered the deal with Odin, in which the Titanforge Keeper gave his eye to peer into the Shadowlands. So this is evidence that the Titans did know about the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Remember what we said about the Chronicles. In the Chronicles, the Titans claim they have no idea what the Shadowlands is. None whatsoever. The Shadowlands is a place where they think dead souls go, or dead people go, but they don't know. No one's able to see into the Shadowlands. How in the fuck did Odin know that there was such a realm, if not from his father?
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I mean, you have them in Ulduar, which is right near the Veil, but how do you put up a veil between something if you don't know there's something out there to put the veil up for? That doesn't make sense. So there must have been information about the Shadowlands.
Yeah, they had to have known, especially considering that the Eternal Ones very much know about them. Katrina Stars, thank you very much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Murlocs? No, Murlocs are just creatures that developed on
Oh,
Azeroth.
you fucking take that back, bro. We
There nothing-
will catch hands over Murlocs. Murlocs are the fucking true gods of the universe.
It's not in the book. It's not in the book. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Murlocs are amazing. I love the Murlocs, but you know, they are just basically animals that evolved on Azeroth. I mean, we can have this fucking debate forever.
And you will be wrong forever.
Probably. I still think Murlocs should be a playable race. We've got Volpira now, so we may as well have fucking Murlocs. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This was an excerpt from The Shoal Show. If you did, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that bell for more content like this. I want to take some time to thank the patrons and the Twitch subs of this channel. Thanks to you, this channel keeps growing, so if you want exclusive content, head over to Patreon. The link is in the description down below, or live every Tuesday to Friday over on Twitch. Again, link in the description down below. And then to all of the YouTube channel members, thank you so much for your monthly contributions. It does allow us to keep putting out videos like this one, so we couldn't have done it without you. As always, ladies and gentlemen, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and take care of yourselves. As always, I will see you in the next one. Peace out, fam.